Hello, and thank you for stopping by the Massachusetts Beer Reviews channel of YouTube. I am Thomas Metal 75, and this is your Massachusetts Beer Reviews, here to discuss New England beer by way of Kent, Connecticut. This is from the Kent Falls Brewing Company, again located in Kent, Connecticut. This is their 4.5% alcohol by volume hoppy blonde ale, and it is known as Trapped in Habitual Nostalgia. Kind of a hippie looking name to this one. And this is their Kent Falls logo. So Trapped in Habitual Nostalgia, again, is a hoppy pilsner, or a hoppy blonde ale. And in this variety, in batch, they're using Columbus and Mosaic hops. And it was canned on the 20th of November, 2017. And on KentFallsBrewing.com, they say, bright and beautiful. Each batch Trapped in Habitual Nostalgia features a different pairing of classic and new wave hop profiles delivered through a plush body for a perfectly smooth ride along the wave of tradition directly into the future, whatever the hell that means. So this is batch 3 that is using Columbus Mosaic. Batch 2, packaged on the 29th of August 2017, had Centennial and Citra. That sounds delicious. And their July 18th, 2017, batch 1 had Centennial and Simcoe hops in it. They say it's clean, hoppy, low alcohol. It's a regular rotation in beer, so that's good. It's hoppy blonde ale. It's getting out of 18 reviews, 4.02 out of 5 on Beer Advocate. So without further ado, I'm going to crack this open. Happy Saturday to you all. This is July. No, it's not. This is January 12th, 2018. Holy crap. I'm going to use a Teku glass. I'm going to put it in this freezer sleeve to keep cold. Trapped in Habitual Nostalgia, Mosaic and Columbus hops. In the light, it's pretty hazy orange. On camera, it looks pretty hazy lemony yellow. See if I can get any extra light in there. A little bit. Still look lemony yellow with that nice bright white head. And it smells like a really, really, really great smelling New England style IPA. There's a lot of tropical lemony notes to the beer. And I'm also getting some grapefruit and pineapple, but I'm getting a lot of lemony, sweet lemony notes and grapefruit pineapple. Bigger pineapple than the grapefruit. Definitely a bready malt in the background. For sure, white bready malt in the background. Touch of a funkiness, not really too sour, just a little bit tart in the background. Maybe slight, ever so slight sweet tart. Maybe some light hop oils, but this thing is smelling delicious. And blindly, I would just think that this could be maybe a single IPA or perhaps even a pale ale, which it would be more accurate to a blind smell of this one. So yeah, Trapped in Habitual Nostalgia from the Kent Falls Brewing Company, Kent, Connecticut. Cheers. Happy Friday, guys. Ooh, very interesting. The nose makes the beer seem like it's going to be much sweeter than it is. This is a pretty dry beer. Extremely dry and clean tasting beer. There are a lot of dank, earthy notes to this one. Initially, you're getting those sweet lemony pineapple notes. with some grapefruit, but more of the lemony notes and the pineapple notes. Sweet, white, bready, almost like a pilsnery kind of a malt in the background, a pilsner crackery kind of a white bready malt. Initially, all of that sweet, and then in no time does it dry, and does it have this light oily, light hop resinous oily, almost like a pine. And it's got some dank characteristics to it. Lots of oniony notes in that and garlic notes in there. I would say it's green and herbaceous. Not herbaceous, but I would say it's got that green, as I call it, a Woodstock kind of a 1969 Woodstock kind of a green about it. So yeah, like I said, it's got some tartness to it. Not a sour beer by any means, although Kent Falls does. I've had a few of their beers, including some farmhouse beers, and I believe I've had a sour beer from them before. And they do those pretty well, so this is lending itself to that in some capacity. It just has a light, fruity tartness about it, not over the top. But because of how dry it is, for me, that's an interesting characteristic. It keeps it from being totally boring as it dries, if that makes any sense. There's some character to the dry finish. I don't know how to describe that, but character is definitely in this beer. I would say it's definitely a light medium, but straight up medium. I say there's some character to that finish, but once even that souring note finishes, do you get almost a club or a seltzer water taste to it? So, it's what did I say? It's 4.5%. They're not making any bones about this trying to be more of a sessionable, lower ABV beer, and quite frankly, I really like that when it's done right, because who all the time wants a 7.2% alcohol by volume single IPA all the time or double IPAs all the time? It's great that companies can make these kind of beers. And I mean, it just looks gorgeous and sexy in that glass. And there is your sediment. So as I was saying, let's see. They got even more fruity and a little bit more spicy from the addition of the bottom of the can, either hot particulate or some kind of sediment in there from the yeast. But as I was saying, it's on the light side of medium, but straight up medium. It is very crisp. It's got a nice effervescence to it. It is very clean, and this is pretty refreshing. I think it's extremely dry nature. Could potentially turn some people off because it almost, like I said, as it dries, maybe you're getting some of that yeast characteristic, and you're getting some of the light tart souring notes at the end that may not appeal to everybody. But this one's pretty good. Cheers live to Arkansas Beer Reviews. So, how would I rate this? I mean, I'm enjoying this immensely. It's an enjoyable drinking experience, and I would buy the crap out of this again. I don't recall price-wise. It might have been 14, between 14 and 16 for a 4-pack of our tall cans. So, I mean, what would I rate that beer? It's practically, I mean, I guess an 89 is a really good rating. I could very well see why somebody could potentially call this a world-class beer. And for me, I think the way that it's hopped, you might as well just call it a pale ale or even a single IPA, but maybe a pale ale is a better description for its style. And they talk about on Beer Advocate that they're considering this an American, and the company is, they're calling it an American blonde ale. This is a hoppy blonde ale. And their description is more or less a creation from the craft beer movement, and also reminiscent of the German style Kolsch. Pale straw to deep gold for color, sure. Usually an all malt, all attenuated with a lightly bready, malty palate, and most have subdued fruitiness. Hop character is of noble variety or similar, leaving light to medium bitterness. It's a little bit more bitter than that. The beer, a balanced beer, light-bodied and sometimes lager-like. It's got a lighter mouthfeel. You know what? I would just call this a pale ale. I don't see the point of calling this a American pale ale or an American blonde ale like that. But yeah, with all being said and done, I think 89 is great. Again, this tart, very dry finish to it, and it not being very sweet is a very interesting sensation, and I don't dislike that at all. I think in general, for me personally, to give it a higher rating, I would probably like not so much of a dry finish, and to see some of the malts kind of shine through a little bit more, and to help out, to round out the beer a little bit. Otherwise, this is a pretty good beer, and I have no problems in ever, buying that one again. So this has been the Kent Falls Brewing Company, their batch 3 Columbus and Mosaic version of their Hoppy Blonde Ale, trapped in habitual nostalgia. I'm going to give that an 89. Life's too short. Keep drinking amazing beers. And until next time, keep tasting those great beers. Cheers. And I will see you all soon. Go Patriots.